Art has a remarkable ability to hold up a mirror to society, forcing us to confront our realities and encouraging us to think more critically about the world we live in. During my visit to the Hammer Museum in Los Angeles, two pieces stood out to me. Accumulation 101 by Nam Sangin and a mixed media work by Francis Stark. Both pieces created in the late 20th and early 21st centuries challenge me to think deeply about consumption, identity, and the systems we participate in, often without question. In this essay, I'll explore how these works use the fundamental elements of line, color, and space to deliver powerful messages about culture and our shared experiences. Nam Singin's Accumulation 101 is a hauntingly effective commentary on consumerism and environmental harm. The work consists of thousands of cigarette butts encased in a clear rectangular frame. At first glance, it might seem like just a pile of discarded waste, but the more you engage with it, the more it reveals itself as a reflection of modern society's habits and consequences. The artist uses line, for example. The cigarette butts are layered and packed tightly, creating a chaotic yet oddly rhythmic visual pattern. Each cigarette's straight, cylindrical form creates small repetitive lines that suggest the monotony of habitual consumption. At the same time, the randomness of their placement evokes the uncontrolled and unending nature of waste, both personal and global. Through color, the palette of this piece is muted and somber, dominated by the faded beige of tobacco paper, the dingy white of filter tips, and the burnt edges of ash and tobacco. These tones carry a sense of decay, emphasizing the idea of pollution and permanence. The discolored, worn-out appearance of the cigarette butts reinforces the work's force on degradation of the environment, and perhaps even of ourselves. The cigarette butts are compressed within a clear rectangular box, which is striking in its simplicity. This deliberate confinement creates a sense of claustrophobia, mimicking the overwhelming accumulation of waste in the real world. The depth of the frame gives the work a sense of mass, as if the waste is spilling out toward the viewer, forcing us to confront the impact of everyday habits. This piece is more than just a statement on smoking. It's a broader critique of waste and neglect, an indictment on the way we treat our environment. Each cigarette represents a fleeting moment of pleasure, but when viewed collectively, they become a symbol of carelessness. Nam Singin uses these discarded objects to highlight the long-term effects of small individual actions, reminding us that our habits, however trivial they may seem, contribute to a much larger global problem. The work is culturally significant because it encourages us to take action and initiative on problems such as the ones right in front of us that are so often normalized and common in our society. Oftentimes, it is easy to accept our bad habits and indulge in them in order to make us feel more content with ourselves, but that is not always the right answer. Francis Stark's mixed media work presents an entirely different yet equally impactful exploration of modern life, focusing on themes of communication, identity, and the complexities of human connection. Her work combines text, imagery, and unconventional materials in a way that feels intimate, personal, and sometimes chaotic. At the Hammer Museum, Stark's piece stood out for its bold use of color, dynamic line, interplay of lines, and the way it manipulates space to evoke deeper meanings. In Stark's work, line is an expressive and flexible element. Her use of thin, erratic strokes combined with more structured text fragments reflect the tension between control and spontaneity, mirroring the push and pull of real-life communication. The handwritten or hand-drawn lines create an organic quality that feels deeply personal, almost as if you're peeking into someone's diary or private thoughts. Stark's color palette is vibrant yet intentionally uneven, with bold yellows, reds, and blacks that demand attention but never overwhelm. These colors feel raw and emotive, conveying a sense of urgency in the messages she's presenting. The contrast between vivid tones and muted backgrounds also create a sense of fragmentation, which reinforces the work's theme of disconnection in a hyper-connected world. Stark's use of space is playful and layered. She frequently juxtaposes text and images, forcing the viewer to navigate through overlapping components. The negative space in her composition becomes just as significant as the filled areas, highlighting the pauses and gaps inherent in communication. This thoughtful manipulation of space draws the viewer in, requiring an active engagement with the piece to uncover its layer of meanings. Francis Stark's work reflects the fragmented nature of modern identity and communication. In our age, social media, text messages, and endless emails, human communication often feels both instantaneous and superficial. Stark's combination of fragment, text, and imagery speaks to the difficulties of truly understanding one another, even in an era of constant connectivity. Her world is culturally significant because it captures the vulnerability and complexity of navigating relationships in a digital age, asking viewers to reflect on how technology both facilitates and hinders meaningful connection. In conclusion, both Nam Sangin's Accumulation and Francis Stark's mixed media work demonstrate how art can address the pressing issues of our time. Nam Sangin critiques the environmental consequences of consumer habits, while Francis Stark delves into the challenges of communication and connection in a digital society. Through their innovative use of line, color, and space, these artists push us to reflect on the systems we participate in and the world we inhabit. Visiting the Hammer Museum and experiencing these works in person was a powerful reminder of art's ability to provoke thought, spark conversation, and ultimately enrich our understanding of the human condition.